Hi, welcome to the Wisdom Inspired Talk podcast. Thank you for joining me today. I am Yomi Akipelu, your wisdom coach, speaker, teacher, and author of Blow the Cap Off Your Capability and other books. In this podcast, we will learn from the wisdom of wise men and women from ancient and contemporary times. We will glean wisdom from books, biographies, teachings, quotes, and sayings of sages through the ages. So, let's dive right in. Today, we'll be speaking about purpose. We'll start with a quote and a story. No individual has any right to come into this world and go out of it without leaving behind him distinct and legitimate reasons for having passed through it, says George Washington Carver. Now for the story. She was born into poverty in 1954 in Mississippi to a teenage single mother, Venita Lee, a housemaid. Until the age of 6, she lived with her grandmother, who was reportedly so poor that she was sent to school wearing dresses made of potato sacks. Her childhood was marred by more than poverty. She became pregnant at 14 as a result of sexual abuse, but her son was born prematurely and died shortly after birth. Due to her grandmother's values, she had religion and God instilled in her at a very young age. Her grandmother taught her to read and write before the age of 3. Grandma's dream was that her little granddaughter would become a school teacher. This girl, however, knew she was born for much more. So much more. She would recite poems during church and verses from the Bible. Soon, the church and the entire neighborhood knew she had a gift and was nicknamed the Little Speaker. At school, she flourished, excelling particularly in speech and drama, and won a full scholarship to Tennessee State University. Just before leaving for college, age 17, she won the Miss Black Tennessee beauty pageant and was hired by a local radio station, WVOL, to read the news part-time while still at high school. At 19, she dropped out of her degree when she was offered a job as the youngest and first black female news anchor at Nashville's WLAC TV. Though she was hired by WJZ TV to co-anchor the evening news, her emotional style did not go down well on a straight news program, so she was fired and transferred to an airing daytime chat program called People Are Talking in 1978. Immediately after the first show, she knew this was what she wanted to do for the rest of her life. According to Oprah, it was one of the moments of perfect alignment. She had found her purpose and calling. In 1984, she relocated to Chicago to take over a morning chat show. Its name was quickly changed from AM Chicago to The Oprah Winfrey Show. It was syndicated nationally, quickly becoming the #1 talk show in the US. Oprah Winfrey is worth $2.7 billion today. She's a philanthropist and is thought by many to be the most influential woman in the world. John Maxwell says, there are 2 great days in the life of a person: the day they were born and the day they found out why. Successful people have found out why. Having a powerful why will provide you with the necessary how. Have you found a worthwhile purpose in your life? The height of your accomplishment will equal the depth of your conviction. Success has been defined as the progressive realization of a worthwhile, predetermined goal. So, establish a handful of worthy goals in your life and give yourself fully to accomplishing them. In establishing your life purposes, start with your relationship with God, your family, and your work. These top 3 areas of your life need the most urgent attention. Friedrich Nietzsche said, He who has a why to live for can bear almost anyhow. Those who follow the crowd usually get lost in it. A sure key to failure is to try to please everyone. Without a purpose, life is motion without meaning, activity without direction, and events without reason. Without a clear purpose, you have no foundation on which you base your decisions, allocate your time, and use your resources. You will tend to make choices based on circumstances, pressures, and the mood at the moment. People who don't know their purpose try to do too much, and that causes stress, fatigue, and conflict. It is impossible to do everything people want you to do. You have just enough time to do God's will. If you truly can't get it all done, then it means you are doing more than God intended, or you are not using your time wisely. A purpose-driven life leads to a simpler life and peace of mind. Your purpose in life is to find your purpose and give your whole heart and soul to it. Purpose always produces passion. Nothing energizes like a clear purpose. Meaningless work is what makes you tired. It wears you out and saps your strength and joy. Where I want to be must be in direct proportion to what I am doing with where I am now. If your life is not lived on purpose, it will be spent on the sidelines, looking on at the game being played by others. You've got to get up in the morning with determination and purpose if you're going to go to bed with satisfaction. John Maxwell said, if you're not doing something with your life, it doesn't matter how long it is. Now let's talk about the will of God. Some people are always waiting doing nothing. And when you ask them why, their excuse is that they are waiting on God to find out God's will for their lives. I think the best way to find out God's unknown will is to do the known will of God. You will find God's special plan and purpose for your life while walking on the well-worn path. God will show you the next step to take while you're being the kind of employee that employers dream of. Begin to weave and God will give you the thread. By living what we know, God is preparing us to live what we don't know yet. Doing God's will leads to discovering God's will. The place where you are doing your ordinary work faithfully is the place where God will unveil your extraordinary work. Moses was tending his father-in-law's sheep in the desert when he got a burning bush experience. So don't look for the burning bush experience. Tend the sheep faithfully, and God will speak to you in a way that will set your heart aflame with His purpose. Here is a quote from the movie Karate Kid. Walk on road. Walk left side, safe. Walk right side, safe. Walk in middle, sooner or later, squish. In other words, either you're walking on your purpose on the left or walking on your purpose on the right. If you're just in the middle of the road, you might get squashed or run over by people who are going about their purpose. God's gift to us is our potential. Our gift back to Him is what we do with our potential. The greatest insult to our Creator is to be a slacker or to be lazy. Find your purpose and give thanks to God by pursuing that purpose and giving your very best. Be the best you can ever be. If you're unsure what your purpose is, God sometimes leads us through our natural gifts and abilities. A gift is something we can do easily, something that comes naturally, something you derive pleasure from doing, something people commend you for. Do what you're good at. It's God's gift to you. No matter what our talents, we derive great pleasure from doing what we are naturally good at doing. If we do what we are good at doing, we sense God's grace on our efforts. We will know we are operating in our gifts and that doing so honors God and ministers life to others. The more tuned in you are to your purpose And the more dedicated you are to growing towards it, the better your chances of reaching your potential, expanding your possibilities, and doing something significant and even awesome. Charles Schwartz said, "Life is like a 10-speed bike. Most of us have gears we never use." Talent is like an inheritance you received from your parents. It is necessary, but it's not enough. If you fail to use your gift, you lose it. Use it and God will increase it. Whatever gifts you have can be enlarged, developed, and improved through practice, study, and feedback. So don't settle for a half-developed gift. Stretch yourself and learn all you can learn. Read, grow, and become better at your gift. Concentrate on doing the very best work you won't be ashamed of. E.M. Gray said, "The successful person has the habit of doing the things that failures don't like to do. The successful person doesn't like doing them either, but his dislike is subordinate to his purpose." So, find your purpose and go fulfill it. And that is all for today. Until next time, keep on growing in wisdom and maturity. Blow the cap off your capability. Be unstoppable. Be awesome. I'm cheering you on.